Thank you for that. Now, welcome to this session. We are going to look at AI tools in research, and then we shall go to understand how they operate and how they are used. The disclaimer first is that AI are tools, not the final solutions to what you are supposed to do. The key thing is you are the solution provider, and therefore you are the one who reasons and thinks. AI is just to help you implement what you needed to complete, right? Let's look at AI major tools for research and teaching today. Most of you have been teachers. Some have been in postgraduate areas. Either you are a lecturer, you are a trainer, you are a church leader, meaning that even before you go and address the congregants, you always prepare for that. That means that you have been a teacher too. Everybody is a teacher, depends with what are you handling and the context under which you are covering the teaching space. Therefore, we had looked at various types of AI tools as we began, and we've talked about them as we've been moving. We've talked about prompt engineering as we were handling several things there. We've seen how AI tools can be able to unlock and unpack several things, including translation of contexts, um, when it comes to conversion of texts to images, when it comes to creation of music and artistic work, and very many of them that we have tried to look at. We've seen how you can be able to prompt the chatbots, which are segments of AI, and be able to get the output that you really needed. Now, there are some specific tools that we are going to look at. And then we also have, because with the AI tech world, things evolve every day and you get things every day happening. So it is you to choose which one do you prefer and which one do you wish to use it more, which one solves for you your problems. Not all of them. Some can solve the problem for me based on my need, but some cannot solve the problem for you because of your need. And therefore we can be able to look at this. So the AI major tools for teaching and research. Let's first of all look at the artificial intelligence and the current universities, research bodies, research centers, academic world or academic platforms, academic institutions, they tend to struggle. That is the reality because the old system is being outwashed. The way a professor used to handle matters about research is changing. The way we perceive how we identify the gaps and so on remains the same, but with different approach. Methodologies grow every day. But then the reality is we are not doing the new researches like from scratch. You are referencing it with others. That means that most of the methodologies literature review you are like, how do we call it, like systematic review approach, because you systematically review other existing articles and researches in order to prove yours to be solving the gap that now has been left. So artificial intelligence has transformed this research part and the teaching field. Nowadays, if you are still teaching the same way, then you get things have changed. Sometimes you get even into a lecture and then you find that your students are more ahead of you. They have more content than even what you think and imagine. Therefore, there is need for you to do more research within every day compared to how you we used to handle matters sometimes back. Now, AI has transformed this field of research and teaching. Nowadays, there is a lot of emergence of online teaching and AI based self explanatory platforms that you don't require a teacher or an instructor to be able to guide you. They can be able to do it by themselves. Now, enabling educators, the researchers to perform tasks with greater efficiencies, accuracies, and in depth knowledge and skills to be portrayed can be achieved with AI than the traditional method that people were used to. So there are various AI tools that are used across academic institutions, teaching institutions, church institutions, health institutions, and many other major fields. Agriculture and everywhere is all about this. Industries, you go to the manufacturing fields, and everywhere it's AI.
Okay.
Now, across these academic institutions,
Makura kwa nyingi airdrop. Airdrop.
hello, you seem to be. Think you have
Yes,
someone
and
making noise.
Adolphine.
I have to.
No,
I'll have to remove the person kindly. If he's serious, he wants to join the class, he can be able to join the class. I think some things are just self etiquette. Thank you. We were discussing about the various tools of AI tools that are used in academic institutions. Now, to enhance research methodologies and the teaching strategies, we need these tools to help summarize some bulk contents that exist. Sometimes you have a book of more than 2,000 and you need to summarize it for a semester that is there for 3 months. So there are several things that you can be able to do. So today we will cover some few major AI tools for research and teaching. Look at their functionalities and how they work, and then we shall be able to cover one by one, or a few that we can be able to cover because of the time. Then the rest you can as well as handle. So one of the AI tools is natural language processing tools. And when looking at these natural language processing tools, they are the ones that help you even to translate uh, texts and contents from one language to another. Um, Examples of these tools are OpenAI's GPTs, and we have the Google Bats. You're talking about the Google language translators, IBM Watsons, and many other. So sometimes we ask that why is OpenAI called GPT? So the only thing that you know is always about Chat GPT, but what is this Chat GPT? Hmm? What is this Chat GPT? Have we ever interacted with it? Yes, almost every day people interact with it. But now, have you mastered how to interact with it, or you are just interacting with it in the normal way? There is interacting with it and find the solutions the best way, and interacting with it just to ask whatever we ask. I think the biggest problem is that we tend to use ChatGPT like Google tool, yet they are not the same. All right. So if you are using it as a Google tool, then you are missing the point. Mm. And that is where we get everything being done in the wrong way. Then we say that we are not getting the correct answers. Now, the question should be, why is it called OpenAI's GPT? You always talk about Chat GPT. What is GPT in that area? Chat means that you will always enter your text. But then we have the GPT. That's why it's called Chat GPT. What is the meaning of that GPT? GPT is generative. That's why it is generating for your text. After the model has understood and has scanned around and done what is called the algorithmic search for the content that you wanted related to really what you asked it to look for. So it's generative. So it can generate a text like answers, stories, explanations, blog posts, and whatever, text, images, videos. So both are text and graphical, so that it's textual and graphical in nature. Then the P stands for pre-trained. Pre-trained. Because you are interacting with pre-trained models. We looked at the deep learning and neural networks, and also all about machine learning. And we talked about algorithms, and we talked about the models and how the GPTs are being designed or developed. So you have to create models, train these models in a separate entities, then centralize them into one area. There are several things, issues like checkpointing and so on in machine learning world. We are not going to look at that. So it is pre-trained. That means that these models have been trained using certain data. And every day, as you interact with it, you are training it more. Sometimes if it has given you the wrong answer and you know the correct answer, when you correct it, it gets trained instantly. Next time when you ask it the same question, it will give you now the correct answer that you told it that this is the correct answer, but not the other way around. So it's like a baby. Those algorithms and models and agents that it's using to give you the generative text are being trained every day using text, using large data models, and using graphics, images, and so on, depending on what is the need of the users. So it is generative, pre-trained. That is, it has already learned from a large amount of data before you start using it. Then the T stands for transformer. Transformer. This is a type of AI model architecture that it uses, that is used to design and to understand the process language efficiently. So a chat system powered by generative pre-trained transformer model is what is ChatGPT. Are we getting it? A chat system powered by generative pre-trained transformer model is what is called ChatGPT. So you have understood what's the GPT in that area there. What is the functionality of natural language processing, which is an AI tool used in research areas, which includes all these OpenAI's, ChatGPT's, Google Bats, IBM Watson's, and so on. So these are tools that are used to process and analyze large text data sets, perform sentiment analysis, topic extractions, and generate the summaries to suit what you really want. How do they work? How do OpenAIs work? GPTs. They use deep learning algorithms, as I've explained, to parse and understand human language. Any chat you ask it, it is your human language. Then transform unstructured text into structured data for analysis. So what you are giving it is unstructured text. It will be able now to convert your unstructured text into a structured data and then be able now to give you any output that you require. If you want it to be in PDF, if you want it to be in PowerPoint, if you want it to be in Word document or a doc type format, it will do that for you. If you want it to be in the image format, it will do that for you, because it has already transformed your unstructured text into the structured format. Unstructured means that it doesn't have labels, unlabeled data, while structured data means it is well labeled and understood easily. Now, generate coherent text-based responses, and they also aid you with some literature reviews or references and summaries of what you had not read or even understood or even looked at. So it will be able to guide you on that and help you uh, in a larger extent. We can listen to this. Don't know if it can play. This video can play. If it can play, it's better. If it can't, I'll send you for your follow up. It's taking long. It's a video about the research demo on that. But no worries, I'll send you because of time also. Data visualization tools. Let's just give just a breakthrough, then I'll handle the rest. So we have tools like Notebook, LLM, Elicit. We have Semantic Scholars. We have Research Rabbit. Just to summarize what I have in this video. We have tools like Connected Papers, Consensus, that is on literature review and discoveries. We also have what is called Discovery as a tool. So I've talked about the Discovery, Elicit, SciSpace, Notebook. We have Perplexity. We have Semantic Scholar. We have Research Rabbit. We have Connected Papers. We have Consensus. All these are literature review and research discovery. We shall look at them. So this one is just the beginning. Um, then we have writing and academic assistance. Then we talk about the chat GPT. We talk about the cloud. We talk about the notebook, LLM, or learning model or learning machine. We talk about PaperPal. We talk about SciSpace. Those ones, they help you in writing and academic assistance. Then we have citations and verification tools. You have Zotero, you have Cite, you have Retraction, Watch, and many more. Then when you're talking about now findings and analysis of your outputs, then you have data analysis and coding research areas. We have Julius AI, we have Google Colab, we have GitHub Copilot, we have many of them, Zapier, and so on, that you can be able to use in that area. That means that it's very important that for many universities, if you are a postgraduate person and so on, the main purpose of these tools is not to write for you everything, but it is to help you to perform the following key things. This is very important so that you don't mess it up. One is brainstorming. You have to do a research, you don't know where to start from. Then what do? Brainstorm using these tools. You can summarize your biggest literature reviews that you have got the links with, and maybe you don't have access to those books. Some of the books are maybe can be, you must pay for you to download, especially those ones that have been uploaded at Amazon areas. But you want to summarize that book with their synopsis or the abstract part and other areas that are exposed to the world or to the public, then you can use them because they have the power to access it. Then grammar improvements. You use things like Grammarly, use things like Quillbots, and so on, Perplexity, and so on. So you can use them to correct your grammar because when you're doing Turnitin test, number one is indexing that comes out. That what is the indexing value of your research? Number two, it will check on plagiarism. And the third item is on your grammar. These are the three main things that within the research area, they are always checked using the Turnitin. Now, we have also these tools that you can be able also to use earlier to test all these before you do what? You submit your article. You can't be telling me that you are using Quillbot to test on something like AI generation. Yet the percentage it will show you, even if it shows you 100% free, but when you test it with another high level tool, it will still show you some patches or sections of AI generations. But the fact is, Turnitin does not show much about the AI content. But it is good that you have to humanize your work fully so that you own your work before you submit it for testing. I hope we are together there. Turnitin itself is an AI tool. Now, tools for checking plagiarism. AI tools for testing plagiarism. In the research field, because it's what the universities use to look at all that. Number one, for AI tools for plagiarism detection in research. Before I look at the data visualization tools, we have Turnitin, which is the most and widely used plagiarism checker by the universities worldwide, and also the journals for publications. So most of them is it detects copies content from journals, from books, from websites, from student submissions, AI generated text detections, similarity reports, citations, checking, and many more. Therefore, there is need to look at some of these things in a proper way so that we can be able to get things much well understood. So I've added there the some text here down here so that you can be able to follow some text or some text that I've not maybe mentioned, that for you to have it and follow it well. I think if you're a researcher, postgraduate, or supervising materials for students, undergraduate, maybe they are homework, maybe they are research related, or maybe you are checking the books, or maybe you are engaged with your friend to do a publication write up. Before you submit them for publications, you must check several things on that. And that is the key things is that you have to check AI generation. What is the percentage? In today's world now, because most of the tools are using this, mostly when you check most of the universities, because they are using Turnitin, sometimes even Turnitin does not even show that this work is AI generated. And that's why you'll find that universities entrust their ICT and now request the ICT team to be able to do the checking. But then, what if you submit the work to an IT person who doesn't care? And you have been stressed the whole night coming up with your write up, and you submitted it, that now it should be checked, and then you find your document it's completely in a messy environment. So what do? Don't be like somebody who doesn't understand what you're doing or somebody who is not a very good scholar. So what you need to do is, first of all, retain your original copy and then create a duplicate copy that now you are submitting it for checkup and testing. Once you receive the results from the other end, you can now be able now to do what? To correlate or co-type or co-rewrite it with now your final copy so that you avoid messing up your document and then ending up blaming yourself or blaming the person who is doing for you the tests. Now, we are talking about AI tools for plagiarism detection in research. One is Turnitin. Turnitin in the universities, not just in Kenya, but worldwide. I've sent there the name Turnitin in a chat. Turnitin is the mostly used to detect copies, journals, books, website, student submissions. They check AI generated text detections. Nowadays, they have added that addition, but it's not as effective as other tools. Similarity reports, and that is why most of your paper is rejected. Similarities. And when you're checking about the similarities, that is what we are talking about indexing. That how many research have been indexed within your paper. So if you have a lot of similarities, then you directly copied and pasted into your area without paraphrasing for you to own your idea. Similarity reports is done by that. Citation checking. It checks whether your citation meets the criteria that is needed. If the criteria for your university is using APA 7th edition style, and within your citation you have used the Chicago citation format, it will easily detect and tell because they are different citation styles. Learning management systems integrations. When you're talking about online studies or online learning, most of the universities, you see them telling you that they have an e-learning portal. But when you look at it, what are they using? They are using the same tool. The tool is called what? Moodle. Moodle. So a Moodle is the widely used tool in the development of e-learning platforms. Why? Because it is easy to customize, modify, and to let every teacher interact with their student. But is it the most effective tool? No. But because it can handle several things that teachers are interested with, then we say that it's the widely used one. And people came to know about Moodle only during COVID-19. But the tool has been existing. You don't need to wait until a crisis comes for you to learn about a tool. That's why we are here learning tools in various areas. The other tool that we use in learning management system that has AI integrated on it is a Canvas. 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 Therefore, if I open here and then I check for you here, the tools. Number one, if we talk about Moodle, then it is here. Moodle. So you just go to Moodle, you can download it, and then do what? Install it into the servers, and then customize it. And then it becomes a complete e-learning platform. So this is the tool. This is the tool that is downloaded and done whatever thing. So for demo, you can be able to come here, and then you can be able to see how a learning platform looks like. So if you want to do a demo, you can try to log in here. So you can see it's going to log me in. So what people just do here is they just change this title here, and then they can be able to create something like e-learning. Let's say like uh, e-learning dot where, because you just extend it because it's just a subdomain. For example, if it is this one, the same if you want one for e-learning at MKU, you'll just do e-learning dot MKU like that dot AC.ke, you'll get it. They are using the same thing. If you go that you want e-learning at your end, e-learning dot your NBI dot AC dot KE, you just get the same thing. So if they don't have that, you can say your NBI e-learning portal. All of them just use the same tool. It's here. Now for them they called it e-class, your NBI, but it's just the same thing. You just call the domain, but it's just the same platform. It is just this tool here. You just modify here the logo, put yours. Change here, put your own. Then you can log in here, do what, and then you can access the content. You can even decide maybe we log in with anything here for them, and then you get the system. Like if I log in with just the Google here directly, can be able to see. So even if I want to download it and just modify it, you can see this module open learning. Yes, so I can do that, continue learning. You see, I'm now inside the portal. If I want to see some courses or whatever, because this one now is now for a demo. So if you want for development, you can download it here, and then you can come here, then download it, go and install it in your platform. So that's how this thing behave. So when you are in the e-learning here, you can be able to access all that you want. So you see, that is the thing. So if you want to learn about everything, you just go there. So like this one is for where. So if somebody wants to log in here, you can just log in. You see courses here. So you can just modify here the front part. The same tool, come here, the same tool. You see login is just here the way it is here in the main platform here. Here the same thing is just here. Even if you go for Maseno, even if you go for what, the same tool is being used. So nothing is new. You just modify and then you get it. The other thing is Canvas. So you can be able to use Canvas for education. So you can do that. Canvas for education. The K24. So you can schedule your classes, get a teacher, discover it as a school or as a student. You can go here as a teacher, design your contents, welcome your students to that, have the students enrolled, have the schools enrolled, features, can deal with the higher education and cases here. So you just create that and then you are free to go. You can use it to create any content that you want for your students. You can see here, you can create courses just by the button, by the tap of a button, and you have the course. Here is the content. You can continue and then give the students. The student can follow it directly there. So that is for if you want to design now, maybe you want to design with a whiteboard or with a presentation, you can do it here just directly. You can create a video demonstrating the lesson that you want to do. You can see that. So if you want to create your lunch plan and so on here within a notice board, you can do it. So there are tools that you can be able to use there. What is the other tools that we use here is the Blackboard. The Blackboard. So we can call here Blackboard AI tool is here. Enhanced e-learning with Blackboard AI learning management tool. Here it is. So you can do downloading the tool, putting it into your desk, and then be able to start using it. It's just like you are in class. For instance, here, I show you how you can be able to use that.
You've tried AI that writes junk. This one, it actually gets it right. Designer doesn't just throw words together.
Yeah.
Hello, and welcome to the session on the Blackboard AI Design Assistant. My name is Stephanie Richter. I'm the Director of Teaching Excellence and Support in the Center for Innovative Teaching and Learning at Northern Illinois University, and I'm really glad that you are here. Today's session is going to be a little more informal because we're going to focus a lot on a live demo of the AI Design Assistant. Please bear with me as that does sometimes take a little bit of time while we wait for the AI to process. It would be a lot quicker and a lot smoother if I just gave you some screenshots, but I think rest today recommend older view quickly is how to use or the recording. Your page will look a little bit and go through how to request a new, you're from NIU. Let's quickly go through how to request a new shell in Blackboard. So I've gone to our Blackboard homepage, webcourses.niu.edu, if you want to go directly. Your page will look a little bit different than mine. I have some admin components here that you won't have, but that's okay. To request a course, or to request a shell, which is what we want right now, go to the Tools tab, and then go to Blackboard Faculty Tools. And then on the Blackboard Faculty Tools page, which will open in a new tab, you'll go to My Shells, shells that like or to be created.
So because of time,
Choices.
I'll share with you.
I could
the
upload
link.
my own.
Because of time, I'll share with you the link. You'll be able to follow it. I want us to look at all these tools so that you get to know about them. But you can search for it, the Blackboard AI. Blackboard AI. And then you'll be having it. Many institutions consider this within the academic standards and originality checking. So we have talked about all those, the Turnitin as the major tool there. When do we use Turnitin? When do we use Turnitin? We use it best used in the universities, thesis submissions, journal publications, students assignments checking. So we use them in that area. The other tool that we use in AI detection and plagiarism detections in research, apart from the Turnitin, we also have what is called the CopyLeaks. 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 The name is there in the chat. I've sent there. CopyLeaks. CopyLeaks is another tool that we use. When you search for that CopyLeaks, let me search for you here. CopyLeaks AI here. So you search for that CopyLeaks. So once you are here, you can easily maneuver with it. So what do you normally do? Free AI detector by chat on. So assume that we have a text here. Let's use a chat GPT, for example, somewhere here. Then we ask it something that write an abstract. As a researcher, let me ask it now. As an advanced researcher for PhD level, write a complete abstract on the research title, implications of fuel rise to the general economic growth of the country. Case study of Kenya. That is the title. Then we tell it to do that. So it has done that. But now it has done it in the wrong way. So I have to tell it that what to do is that ensure you use one single paragraph, minimum of 200 words and maximum of 250 or 300 words. Include the background of the study, scope, the target group, the sample size covered. Talk about the problem, the gap. Talk about the objectives, at least two main. Then talk about the methodology applied that best suits the study. The few arguments, that is support, and that is just discussion. Let me just say discussion, and then recommendations and suggestions for further studies. And then keywords, order in ascending order. So when talking about the problem, the gap, the objectives, then we need to see the key solutions. The key solution this study is providing. Like that. Then we prompt it. Now that is now the complete abstract that it has given to us now. Now this one looks better than this one's here. So you see, this one is not following up any format that is needed. Uh, Now when we take this, sorry, so that now you have this as an abstract of your study. Then we open a Word document here. Then we put it there. Let's say we paste it there. So first of all is the title, and we have to get that clearly. What was the title of our study? The title of our study was Implications of Fuel Prices Rise to the General Economic Growth of the Country, Case Study of Kenya. So this is the title. So you come here, and then to avoid some things, let me format that text here. Let me format it here first, and then now carry from here to this area here. Now paste it there. So this is the research title. Research title is there. Now this is the abstract. Now abstract here says this. Now obviously when you have your document, you have to format it into justified format, so that it looks like that. This can be done there, so you can see how that text looks like that. The continuous rise in fuel prices has become a major economic concern in Kenya due to the country's heavy dependence on petroleum products for transportation, industrial production, agriculture, electricity generation, and the trade activities, thereby creating significant effect on the overall economic growth and living standards of the citizens. So that one you have already given the background, and you have given the foundation from which your study is being built from. Then you now state why is your study being done. So this study examined the implications of fuel price increases on the general economic growth of Kenya with a focus on Nairobi, Mombasa, Kisumu, Nakuru, and Eldoret counties, targeting households, transport operators, small and medium enterprises, manufacturing firms, and government economic agencies. So, have you stated the scope under which the study took place? Yes. Have you stated the reason why the study was conducted? Yes. Have you stated the target group that your study uh, uh, handled or targeted? Yes, because they are the ones who participated in the research and in data collection. Then, a sample size of 350 respondents was selected using stratified and simple random sampling techniques to ensure balanced representation across sectors affected by fuel price fluctuations. The study was motivated by the persistent increase in the cost of living, inflation, reduced business profitability, and declining purchasing power despite government interventions aimed at stabilizing fuel prices. So already you have stated where all the problems are being covered. Then you proceed that existing studies have largely concentrated on inflation and transport costs, while giving limited attention to the broader implications on national economic growth and sustainable development. These are now arguments, thereby creating a research gap. So you've stated the arguments under which now your research gap is being obtained. Then the main objective of the study were to examine the relationship between fuel price increases and economic growth in Kenya, and to assess the effects of rising fuel prices to household welfare and business sustainability. Now, what were the two main objectives of your study? One was to examine the relationship between fuel price increases and economic growth in Kenya. And two is to assess the effects of rising fuel price on household welfare and business sustainability. So throughout, when I even go down to start to read your paper, I already know what I'm expected to see. Even in your findings, even in your research, literature reviews, what are you doing, and so on. Are there literatures that you have conducted that really fits here, that are talking about the same issues? Like how has this kind of a case has been solved in Singapore, has been solved in the US, has been solved in Uganda, has been solved in Tanzania, has been solved in Botswana, and so on. Do you have literatures that have supported this? Do you have literatures that have criticized some of the objectives and the findings that you think are for this? So the study adopted a mixed methods research design involving descriptive and correlational approaches. Now, has the method been stated? Yes. Has the technique of the study been pointed out? Yes. Because the technique was up there and it was mentioned. Then the methodology is also mentioned here. Utilizing questionnaires, interviews, and secondary economic data analyzed through statistical and thematic techniques. Findings revealed that fuel price increases contribute significantly to inflation, high transportation cost, increased production expenses, unemployment, and reduced investment activities, thus slowing economic growth. So you've already seen what are the key things that have led to that. So the study recommends government subsidies as the solutions, because now we are also expected to see what are the solutions, the possible solutions that you are trying to give as per the problem and the gap that you identified. So, number one, government should give subsidies. Has the government removed the subsidy that was there before? Yes. Diversification into renewable energy. Has the government has been talking about moving from fuel based to electric based vehicles and everything? Yes. Tax reduction on fuel products. Has the government reduced in terms of VAT just on some products, but not foodstuffs and other things? So, are there interventions, tax reduction on fuel, and then strengthening public transport systems to minimize economic shocks, while further studies should explore the long term. So, this is now the suggestion for further studies, that strengthening public transport system to minimize economic shocks. Now here suggestion for further studies, that further studies should explore the long-term effects of renewable energy adoption on economic stability in developing economies. Then I have my keywords there: well arranged, well. Assume that now this was your paper, you want to test it, you have not harmonized, you have not uh, done what is called humanization, and you are busy, you want to submit it to your professor for plagiarism check. So let me save it somewhere here. just in our area here, corporate training, cohort 3. This is lesson 5, lesson 6. So this is a sample on research usage of AI tools. So can be able to say that, then we end it there. Now this is your document. You have not paraphrased this thing to look like your own. So as it is completely AI based. Now we want to test this. Now we come to the copy leak tool here, because it's used as the chaton for AI detection by the chaton. So we have to upload the content. So I'll do this and then come to go to where we had saved our file. When we go to that lesson 6, we get this file. We upload it there. So has it taken the file? Then we say, or we let me just deal with the text. Let me copy the text here, all of it, just like that, or just this, because I just want the abstract, this text. Then copy this text. So I have copied it. Then I come here, then I just paste the text here. I say allow. So once the text is pasted, although it requires me to log in, let me see here the copy link AI here using the chaton, but we can be able to use the copy link here itself, so that you don't use it on top of the chaton, because we also have that chaton. So here is the area. So you see, it's asking you to paste it here, the text. So we are going to paste it here, the text. So here it is. We have pasted that text here. Now we have to do what? To scan it. So scan it to find if it is AI based. So it will show us here whether your work is completely AI or human. So it has shown you here all your content is 100% AI. Okay? So it has pointed everywhere. And indeed it is AI, so you cannot run away. So you need to ensure that this text or this content becomes completely human written. So either you can use tools like Quillbot and then be able to humanize it, but you can use this. We have GPT 0 or 0 GPT here. Then you want to humanize that content. So you want to put that text here. Let's see the results. I'm putting the same text. Where is it? The text is not available. That's the text. Let me delete everything, then put the text afresh. Then we want to humanize it, AI humanizer. So you can do AI humanizer here, because with detection it will already show you that. So here we can paste, allow that, paste that. Then we want to humanize here. So let me click here, humanize. so that it starts to humanize that text. Once it is done, this is now the AI text that we had, and now this is the humanized text that we have. So instead of saying, like for the first paragraph here, instead of saying the continuous rise in fuel prices has become a major economic concern in Kenya due to the country's heavy dependence, we can say the cost of fuel in Kenya is going up all the time. This is a big problem for the country. Kenya uses a lot of petroleum products for things like transportation, making goods, farming, generating electricity, and trading. This means that when fuel prices go up, it has an impact on the overall economic and the standard of living for the people in Kenya. But here we said the continuous rise in fuel prices has become a major economic concern in Kenya due to the country's heavy dependence on the petroleum products for transportation, industrial production, agriculture, electricity generation, and trade activities. You see, the same things are just here. The only thing you do is just change the language, and then the format of the sentences, and you are done. So that one has done this. Now, if we copy this text and now we come here and then replace that with this one, the earlier one that we had, so that we can be able to see what is the solution. So that is it. So I just remove the paragraphs. Like that. Come here. Like that. Now that is the new paragraph. Now let us scan and see what is the percentage. This is the copylinks that is being used by the bodies, the institution, learning institution, and so on, to check your plagiarism. Now, right now, what results are you seeing? It tells you that the abstract is 100% is zero AI generated, and it is human written, human text written, 396 words. So if this is your final abstract and it is your paper and it's the one that you have submitted for tests to your ICT team, there will be no miracle to tell you that your work is 100%. No, it will just be there, that zero. And if now there is another tool that is very powerful, then it will only give just a 1%, which is acceptable. Between 5% and below. Nowadays, I even see they even go up to 10 to 15% and below. It's accepted. So, but this one is zero. So, you just take this and then you wish to do what? To rewrite it more correctly. So, you can decide to download or just now copy the entire of this text. And now come and then put now down to your text that now this is your final abstract which you are going now to. So you can write here humanized abstract.
I have a question.
Then you put it there. Now this is now your text. And I can make this one to be bold. But still now, you can still analyze now this text yourself and then format it correctly the way you want it to be. If you want to change the sentences style, you can do it. and so on. Okay, if you want now to summarize this into now a shorter one, you can do it on your own now. That is now working as a researcher, but not just generating it the way you did it here, and then completely you move. Then you say, this is my final work, let me submit to my professor for checking. My friend, if I check, I get a zero, I get 100%, then I tell you, go and do your work. Now you feel like your paper has been rejected, is now the end of the world. But the fact is, you did not do anything. You just went there and used the AI tool to generate for you the text and moved. So that's how you can use CopyLeaks. So this is CopyLeaks, and CopyLeaks is used by universities, journal publications, and all others, just like Turnitin. So I'm just giving you tools that you can be able to use them as you do your research work. Before you make your submission of your work, ensure you have tested all the parts of your work. There are some people that they come, then they want to upload the entire research paper here so that now it can test. My friend, even if you want this tool to work like a robot the way it is, it cannot be there to resolve for you the whole problem once. You need to do it systematically. Do the background, do the introduction, do chapter 1, some section, maybe a half, so that it becomes easier for you to correct it. Then you go to the next, then you do it, then you proceed. That is the best way to solve problems with research. Not putting the entire thing there within a night. You know very well you've just been copying and pasting work from all over. It's not doing research. You are just a lazy bum, and you are lying to yourself that you are doing a research. You wouldn't have made that decision to start that research. Now, that is the CopyLeaks tool. The other tool is GPT-0, and I think we have used here a tool called Zero GPT to do the humanization. So that is another tool that we have talked about, humanization. So here I've handled around 3 or 4 tools already. GPT-0. Then we have Originality.ai tool. These are tools that organizations are using. Originality.ai. Then you do that. So this is also the tool that top universities, research bodies, and so on are using to check your work. If they want to check your plagiarism, it's here. Plagiarism. They want to check the grammar in your sentences, they check here, and so on. So assume that now I wanted to check about the grammar of our previously finished work. So what do? Just come here to grammar, click there, and then paste your text. You allow. So that is your text. So what do? Come here, and then you check your grammar. You correct the grammar also. So you see, it is 99% correct. The 1% that is there, 1% that is there, you can correct it and it has pointed for you. It's just because it doesn't understand the word Kisumu, but for you, you know it, so you don't have to correct it. And Eldoret, these are cities, so it is known, so there is no problem there. But then here, when you find here, this section here, says that whether it can grow in a sustainable way. You can use just one word here, whether it can go sustainably, and then you are done. You remove the entire stories. So you have solved it, because there is no any other area that you have the issue. The other one is are ignored. So your work here is already, it has passed the plagiarism area, AI detection, and it has also done the grammar test completely. When it comes now to the indexing, it will not be checked here, because this one is originality is just a synopsis of the entire research. So it will not even show. All right. So that one, first of all, has passed the test and it has gone. So the originality. So your professor will be there checking one section by a time. But even most of them don't even check. What they do, they just read and then they ask the ICT team to check for them. Now, once they detect that, they tell you this thing is rejected because of this and this. Now, I welcome any question because I want to end there for today. The rest we can proceed as time goes. But just the other tool that you can use, I think you have written originality. Um, the other tool that you can use is, so I've talked about originality.ai. So the other one is called Winston AI. Winston AI. It's there. So this one is newer. It was just launched the other day, but it's highly rated AI detection platform. And the feature is AI versus human text analysis. Then number two, sometimes people submit documents in PDF format so that the AI cannot be detected. And that's why when it comes to research, we normally request you to submit your work in a Word document format so that we can easily copy the text or upload the text. So when you submit it in PDF, we know that we cannot be able to unpack it. We have to copy text one by one, which is not showing the real originality of the thing. Now, this tool has the ability even to scan your PDF and the doc type documents and find if it is AI detected, it will tell you. Then visual heat maps. It can also show the relationship between your research, because if you want to see if it has identified the gap, it will be able to show that within the map that this is the gap, these are the problems of research, these are the key objectives under reviews and that are being tested, and we shall be able to see it under the findings if your solutions from the findings are related to the objectives that you are solving, right? If your questionnaires are related to the problems that you are solving, which are defined by your objectives. We are also checking. We shall check on that. Then academic writing focus. All that will be done by that, is being done by this tool, Winston. So then we have this Grammarly. But remember, most of the texts that Grammarly will correct for you will also be shown as AI written. So you need to, once it has shown you where the error is, what you are supposed to do is type it yourself, correct it. The way it has shown you there, you can modify it a little bit, but maintain the way it has guided you so that you avoid the Grammarly issues. And secondly, can you have a friend whom you can do what is called proofreading with? There are things that you cannot identify from your text yourself. But when you give someone to read for you, he can easily identify them. Okay? So have a friend that you can co-write with or co-share the text with, the content with, so that you can be able to identify the issues and fix them before you can submit your work. Okay, now we have seen tools for plagiarism detection, and those are the major ones. Then we have AI tools and platforms for research indexing. For research indexing, one is Google Scholar. So somebody is there saying, now how do I get this Google Scholar? The issue is, how do you search it? You come here to the normal Googling here, then you say that you are using Google Scholar. No, you have to search for Google Scholar, or you can download the Google Scholar extension and then add them where? You can come here, the settings, and then you can come to add-ons or extensions. Come down here, go to extensions, and then here you can now look for Google Scholar, and then you can easily add it as an extension there. If not, then you can easily come to this side here and then search for Google Scholar and then type it. Then now log in with that. Here now you are now in Google Scholar. You see the interface is different from the normal here that you have. So that now you are in Google Scholar. And then are you looking for case law or articles? And then here you also define with it within the libraries. And whatever scholars that you have identified here, you can easily attach them to the my library areas. So assume that now we are looking for Google Scholars related to our topic of study that we were looking at here. So what are the key words here? Implementation of fuel prices. So it is implementations, fuel prices, price rise. And then what are the other keywords here? Economic growth. And then the case study of where? Kenya. Those are keywords here. So assume that now you're looking for implementations of fuel price rise to that. So you can easily maybe search for the entire, but you see, when you do this, you might not be able to get the correct findings. So assume that now you are putting here articles related to this. You will not get it. But then if you say that now you're looking for fuel price, you can easily format this so that it shows you the easier thing. So here you can just talk about implementation of implications or implications stroke effects. But let's say implications because these are now in the negative. Implications of fuel price rises, fuel price rise to general economic growth of the country. So there are things here. There are logical rules that we use, either or, and, exclusive or exclusive and, logicals. So you can say this and then remove two, and you can say here and then general economic growth. Yes, these ones. So these ones, general economic growth, or you can even just say economic growth as keywords here. So you can remove this. So that is economic growth. These are keywords here that you are looking for. So I'm formatting that so that it shows it in the correct format, that I can be able now to deal with it here, because you can easily use that within the lab sections to search as a matrix. So you can say this implication of fuel price rise and economic growth. Then you can search. So you can see now the articles that you are getting, they are now related to what you are looking for. Impact of fuel price increase on the Nigerian economy. So you just now know that it is now also now for us, now it's for Kenya. See? Then the impact of changes in fuel prices on inflation and economic growth in South Africa. Look at what you are getting here. All of them are related with the keywords. And you can see from the outcome that you have, the key things are because implications and impacts are the same or effects. So they are here showing you, and they are blue, and then economic growth because those are your key words. And fuel price, they are there. You can see the keywords, implications or effects. Fuel price is there, and then economic growth is there. So there's nothing that is missing within your search. So it's good for you to know about how to use the keywords when looking for the articles, the right articles for your research. So these are the things you can see that. The linkage between oil price shocks and economic growth with inflation in the presence of technological advancements, effects of fuel prices on economic activity, evidence from Sudan. So you can see that. Now, once you now have all these links, you can now be copying these links one by one, read them, read them, then you copy the DOI link here, then you put them in your list of references now. You put them in the list of references now. Then you will now be able now to start now looking at now the abstract. When checking the abstract, for instance, maybe you are looking at now the research gaps that existed. What were the methodologies or the methodologies used in this research? You can see this one here within the abstract here. Which methodology did this person use? Now, in case that now you want now maybe to detect such things very fast and so on, then you can now use things like SciSpace, Perplexity, and so on. They can be able to show you what is the methodology used and whatever. Okay, all that being done there. But still, you can as well as ask it to summarize for that abstract. You can see here what were the objectives, because that is the key performance indicator or the KPI that you are always asked. That maybe read the following articles and summarize them into this manner. And then you do what? You put them into certain categories. Then you'll be tested or you'll be asked what were the key objectives that were shown in these different uh, articles so that it can guide you to formulate your objectives well. You can see here the objective of this study is to analyze the impact of changes in fuel prices on inflation and economic growth in South Africa as proxy for fuel importing developing countries. The study followed quantitative research approach with time series data from 2001 to 2018. So already when you look at this abstract, related to the abstract that you had, they are correlated. The methodology used is the same or very closer. Time frame in terms of the data type is there. You can be able to see. The results indicated both long and short-term relationship between the variables and so on. Granger causality test indicated that causality is from changes in fuel prices. That means that those are the discussions. And you also have your discussions. Then the results of the study could be used in monetary and fiscal policy, that is the recommendations. Do you have your recommendations? Yes. Although not much control regarding the changes of the fuel prices exists except for the reduction in levies as the direct method of taxation. That is now for you, you had your recommendations and the possible solutions in order to provide as a gap to that. So this is what you take. You find who is the author, what was the key objectives within the abstract, what was the methodology used, you summarize all that. So that now when you start your write-up within the literature review, you are just flowing directly, and you have all these others here which you have access to. Are we together up to there? I think I have tried to summarize this thing as fast as possible to meet the key thing. So Google Scholar is one for AI tools and platform for research indexing. Number two is Scopus. Scoopers. Scoopers. Mostly we ask you publish your papers to Scoopers index journals. You need to come here today, Scoopers publish journals, and then you can easily find. There's this site called IJCRT. Mostly you can easily use it to find the Scoopers registered journals, because they'll be able to show you which areas to really. Scoopers index journals are also here. You can easily search for them here, and then it will be able to show you all the journals that are Scoopers. And most of these journals are not charging you something, except a few, because if you check all of these, then so that you can be able to do your journal publication. But then the best thing with them is that they are highly indexed, so that your paper goes viral and people can easily find it, because they are entrusted by academic bodies. So Scoopers related. So you can see, if you want the journals, you can come here, search for this, you can click that, get into this journal, you find here, they tell you upload your paper, you can create the account and start publishing your paper. Publish your paper, follow the whole procedure, and then you are free to go. So that is the key thing. You can see here how many articles cited. Also, when you publish with them, it is easily cited by many researchers, because that is the one. If your research is basically, then the other thing when you're looking at the journals to do your publication is that you have to identify the journal under which your paper falls in. If you're talking about human gender and whatever, then that is and uh, gender related. If your paper is about technology and its need, then you have to find the technology related. Like now here, this is a journal that talks about foundations and trends in machine learning. That means that now, if we are talking about now usage of AI tools in solving these fuel prices things or being used within my research, I can publish it here. Okay, and so on. Then there was a publication on cybercrime. Let's say cybercrime here, and you can see it pops out very fast, because this is a journal paper I published with UNESCO journals just the other day. Was it in January? Yes. And you can see the paper has gone viral, and I get a lot of emails of journal papers requesting to publish with me within their area. This paper was published in 2025 December. The issue was sorted on that, and it was published in January early. So if you click that and then open the document, then for instance we open that, then you can easily see the paper and how it's well arranged on that. So when you want to cite it and whatever, maybe Chicago, Harvard style, IEEE standards, MLA, or whatever style that you want to cite it, you can easily cite it. If it is with APA, you find it here. So you just copy this and then put it into your document. So you don't have to struggle. Once you have the article and you have the access to it, you can open it, then you can get the citations so easily, even if you don't want to download them directly from the other areas. So That is what you can easily do, and you can see, you can open it with the DOI and so on. So those are the things. So in case I wanted to publish this paper on preventing cybercrimes through artificial intelligence and machine learning in education in Kenya, then I would have also published it with this because it's talking about machine learning. So I would have published it in this journal, which is also indexed here with Scopus. You just create the account here and then you access the area to upload your paper. And then you start making corrections and then you publish the paper. So there is no much stories about that. So I think that is the other thing, the Scopus. Then the other thing is Web of Science. Web of Science. That is another area. So we've talked about Scopus. So one was Google Scholar. Let me just Google Scholar. Two was Scopus. Three, now I can talk about the Web of Science. Web of Science. Many don't know. Web of Science. This is one of the oldest, most respected indexing systems in the world. When you go to do your research in developed countries and so on, you find that all your paper will be checked by all these tools because those people understand what's the value of education. You find there is one supervisor against maximum 3 students, so that he has more of the time dedicated to you. Not in Kenya where you find one supervisor has been given over 20 master students. Now, what's the quality? Burnout is too high even. See? So, Web of Science, it can check for you the citation indexing, journal impact factors, research analytics, and highly selective indexing. Then we have Semantic Scholar, the third one. Is it the fifth one or the fourth one? Semantic Scholar. Semantic Scholar. It's there. Semantic Scholar. And then the fifth one is what is called the dimensions. Dimensions. Dimensions combines publications, grants, patents, and citations. It combines all that. It combines publications, grants, you talk about patents, which is the IPR, and the citations. All of them are being checked there. So I think those are key tools that you can use for now to do your research work, so that you avoid being like as if somebody who is unfocused. You are just sending things to your supervisor just the way you think. Or even you as the supervisor even don't know what are the tools to use to check the work of this candidate. Okay? Be professional. So important notes for researchers is that similarity scores or plagiarism, high similarities percentage do not always mean plagiarism. You can have similarity scores that are higher, but it doesn't mean that is a plagiarism. So proper quotations, referencing, and methodology sections can increase similarity scores legitimately. Okay? So you need to, as you do the research, you need to see and make your work somehow unique a bit, paraphrasing will guide you on that and make you a very good scholar. So, research studies show AI detectors can produce false positives, false negatives, inconsistent results. But when you use the tools well to do your work, you see, it can reduce the time frame that you are to do a lot of referencing, finding so many documents. Like for example, if you've studied about this research about this impact or the implication of this, like the way that now we have here, like on this, and you have read all these papers here and they relate to provide you the solution of your research. You see, once you open it on the other link, you get the link. So it is easy for you to just ask the chat GPT that now, can you be able to summarize for me the literature review for my paper on this title using these related literatures? Then it will do it for you. Then you can now easily now start now paraphrasing on your own. And you complete that task within a short period of time other than struggling for years to do the same thing. So the key thing is that find the links first, find the articles first, then you can now easily do that. Or you can ask it to help you find the articles related to that. But be keen to study if they are completely related to your study area, to avoid being told your thing is not related to what you want. So I think that makes the end of my discussion today. And see you in the next session. Unless now there is a question that is really burning someone that I have not answered. Is there anyone with that? I hope I've answered several things within a short period of time. And
Good evening, Prof.
yes, good evening to you.
Yeah, just to ask, sometimes you find you have finished your research, and then maybe the comments from your supervisor says there's some citations you haven't cited, or the references that are there, but they are not cited in the index citation. Is there any maybe I that is able to detect for you instead of you going through all the document looking for citations that are not cited?
The question should be, why
Yeah.
did you put a reference if you did not use it anywhere? What was the point of putting that reference there? Yet you have not used it anywhere.
It says that you have reference but not cited, or cited but not reference. Is there any way you can detect that?
That's what I'm just asking you, because to
Mm.
cite you must have read that article, and then you
Mm.
must have found its relevance in part of your writing, and you included it somewhere. When you are including it there, you are citing it. So once you have cited it inside your document, that is
Mm.
when you can now be able now to put it into the list of your references.
Okay.
If you have not used it inside your document or anywhere in your writings, then you
Mm.
don't need to reference it. Remove it from your list of references because it is not existing anywhere. You have not pointed it anywhere. Okay?
The sister's question, I believe, is to ask that if I have omitted to perhaps have written a reference in the reference list and it's not appearing somewhere, or I have cited a source but I have not listed it in the reference list. Is there a tool perhaps that can assist me detecting that you have only cited but not listed it? I believe that's the question.
Now, my
Yeah. Thank.
question is this, because you cited it before you referenced it.
Yes.
Okay?
You cited it, but not referenced it. Is a tool that can help you say, look, you have cited this, but it has not been referenced.
You can
Yeah.
put the entire of your text there, even in ChatGPT, and it will be able to tell you that you have used it here or you have not used it here.
Okay, that's the answer. Thank you.
Because what you are just looking at is there a tool that can scan my document and identify whether it has been used.
Yes.
Yes.
So what is the tool that you can use to read the entire text? So you can use Perplexity, you can use ChatGPTs, you can use what? It can be able to identify. You can ask it, can you identify for me if it is available? And then now to avoid such scenarios is that you reference only after you have cited. But you cannot rush to reference it when you have not done what? Cited. That will
Yes.
help you
Yeah.
to avoid all that issue. Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
You're much welcome.
Thank you, Prof.
You know, we normally say, even in cooking, that you cannot say down here that onion done, chicken curry done. Yet you have not used it inside the cooking. We are trying to find whether it exists in your soup, and it is not there. But you told us that you have used it down here, so it's a lie. You know, in
Okay.
research, we tend to avoid lies and then work with the truth more.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Prof, I have a question.
Yes.
For example, now I was just checking my master's thesis, and I realized that since I've given permission to my university to publish it, so they have actually uploaded it on their website. So anybody who is interested in a study similar to mine can go there and read my entire thesis is there. So my question is that if I have to turn my master's thesis into a journal article, will it not conflict the fact that perhaps it was already published somewhere else, which is now by my university's website?
Okay. The first question should be, is your university website indexed by Scoopers for publication?
How do you know that?
If it is
How?
not, if
Yeah.
it is not indexed for for academic publications, then you can publish it, because I remember some universities, when they know that they don't have indexing bodies for journal publication, they always guide their students through their supervisors that you can publish with this journal. And then once you have done it, now we can be able to upload on our site, just to show that it is a record within the university that these are the publications that have been made. But just uploading in your university portal does not mean that your journal is completely the best, that it has been indexed and whatever. All right?
Okay, it's
So
not yet a journal, it's just the entire master's thesis, and I want to now turn it into a journal, which I want to publish elsewhere.
I know. I get your question. We have two types of masters.
Yeah.
We have a taught masters, and then we have the masters, the research masters. Now, yours is a
Okay.
taught masters. Therefore, the university has to own the work first.
Yes,
And
yes.
therefore, for you to write a journal, on that case, you cannot publish that, because that one belongs to the university. It knows that this is our student and this is their work. The only thing they can do is to invite people to help or write something related to that. And therefore, that is owned by the university. That's why you are their candidate. So you cannot republish it somewhere else. That is like a replication of your own work. For you to
I get
publish
it.
something related to that, you can maybe pick a section that you want to solve it related to that, then write it as a journal or an article.
Okay.
Then you can publish
All
it
right.
with any other publication journal.
Okay.
Yes.
Ooh, that's a tough one. Okay.
Odekea's hand is up.
Hello.
Yes,
Thank you. You can hear me now?
I can hear you, Father.
Can I be heard?
I can hear you
And
clearly.
the machine had died. It woke up by itself. It unmuted by itself. It's not unmuting. I'm using a laptop. I'm asking this with regards to research papers, term papers from students
Yes, proceed.
that in order to use these AI tools to detect plagiarism, which means all papers have to be presented through on a soft copies, isn't it?
Yes.
Which means the old system of just presenting hard copy and you sit to read is gone now.
That is gone long time ago. How do you deal with the students and writing and so on? Ask the student to type the work, send you the soft copy. Number two, emphasize on the use of Google Docs so that you can easily even follow. You become an author at the same time you are following their editing so that you can even correct earlier and tell them, can you correct this faster? So ask the student to create it within the Google document, share the document with you. You can easily be following. And then you can decide even to deal with the student that now I want us to handle one by one. Which chapter have you reached? I have reached chapter 1. Now you ask now, before chapter 1, you have handled all these other areas. Now let us first of all handle this one by one. Then you move. So that you move systematically. But cases where a student comes with a hard copy, handwritten to you, you know, he has copied, he has gone to ChatGPT here, generated the content directly, wrote it directly by hand, and now brought to you. How will you detect AI? And the submission will be done as a soft copy. Before, because that is what will be checked. Before now, the student will now be authorized to go and print it, bind it, and now bring now the final copies. Yeah, so avoid anything about handwritten. Ask the student to type the work. Especially let the student extract the work from their main articles and give it to you. Or submit the entire document. So you follow section by section as you guide and correct. Also comments. You don't comment using your small pen that now you have printed, you can highlight the text and then you comment. Tell the student here, do it like this, write it like this. We shall see all that. That's why we have modules. Father.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then in addition to that, these AI tools go on sale. Are they free? Because I guess you pay money so that you get reliable ones. The ones that are free sometimes they are not fully effective. So how do you know this version now is the best? Because some of them tell you pay I don't know how many dollars. I don't know what. Are they free?
Okay. These are tools that have been built by people through their innovations. Anything innovated and somebody decides to monetize it, you don't have any control over it. But all AI tools are regulated under policies. Even their prices are almost the same. Why do they being charged? Because you will always find that their prices are almost the same. Why? Because you are charging based on the number of credits consumed. Number two, the time that the AI model is going to spend in order to complete a task. The longer the time, the more the credits consumption has been done, and the higher the memory of that model has been utilized. So for you to have more memory to store more work, then you need to pay for that. Just like your phone. If you need a better phone that can store large work, then you need to pay. That's why they are charged. Number two is you are to summarize large of work within a short period of time. This is a bot, a robotic tool working for you. And this is the person who sat down and thought and then came up with that bot. It deserves some good stipends just to be paid for. Now, about payments, that must you pay for something to use? Just in our demonstration today, I've used how many tools? Several of them. Have I paid anything? No. All right? Yes. So, the issue of paying or not paying, it's about you. The question is, do you have skills on how to use it? You know, some people pay because they are just adamant. They want everything to be done by the tool. Therefore, you are consuming a lot of credits. Yes. But if you know categorically what you want it to do for you, then you will write it, be specific, because it is a tool that needs to be guided how to or what to do. For example, the abstract that we have done just now. We wrote the first prompt, but it did not give me what I wanted. So you see, I have to go deeper and tell it, guide it step by step on what I want it to do. Therefore, for it to produce for me that abstract, it has spent less time because it has not reasoned for long. Therefore, less credits have been used compared to somebody here who would have requested to write that abstract the way mine looks like. You would have used how many prompts or asked how many questions for it to respond to into that setup. You would have gone even up to 10 charts. So the more charts you have, the more credits is consumed. Therefore, the more payments you will be asked. So the key thing is understand the prompt engineering that we began with. How do you ask questions to the chatbots? So payments you will pay if you want to have long-lasting usage. But I've guided you and I've told you, for you to have proper working, work with small portions of your research work. If it is only abstract, deal with the abstract, complete it. Go to the literature review, complete it. Go to the findings, complete it. So you work step by step. But somebody wants to upload the entire book or the entire research paper, 200 pages, 300 pages, that can you summarize for me this? You should be having a problem. Even you yourself, will you read that book once? No. So payments is based on what you want to do. Maybe on the ones that are doing reasoning for you, maybe you can pay for that one, maybe so that you can reason for long. But you can use also the free versions one by one as you sort out your problem. And still you can achieve the goal. Because they are just there just to help you iron now the issues area, not the entire area. Much of the work, let it be done by yourself. Let much of the reasoning be done by yourself. Then it has to be there to guide you in brainstorming and help you now to easily summarize the reason. And then you have the issue solved. Yes. So you can still do a lot of work with the free versions without paying anything.
Okay.
Yes.
And just a general question with AI. If you learn how to use it,
Yes.
does it not deny somebody the originality of research. For instance, if I want to research on theology area, like the development of the, the Catholic Church in Western Kenya or in Kenya in general, the old way is that you go to the field and ask, get a questionnaire, ask people questions related to what you want to find out. But now, instead of going there, you put these questions into these tools and it gives you the information. Does it not then reduce or deny somebody to be original, to think and go out into the field?
Very good question. Now, you are saying that I want to do my research from zero, from scratch, to understand about the origin of Catholic from the Western region, for example. And now you are saying that for that study to work, that you will just ask this ChatGPT and tell you. The fact is this, Father, it will not tell you the exact number of values or the number of people that you evaluated. Therefore, that research is a lie. This tool is here to help you, number one, formulate the topic of that study. Number two, based on what you really have it in your mind, you can tell it, can you help me to reframe this into the objectives of my study on this topic? It will guide you and help you, not to give you everything. The other thing, you want to ask questions. What are the questionnaires in your head? Do you have them formulated? No. But you have a clue of what to ask, right? Some specific areas on what to ask. Then the tool is now here to guide, to help you frame those questions correctly. You might have written them the way that you felt like they were there. Now you can put them all and then ask the tool that, can you formulate them now for me very well and correct the grammar? It will do that for you, but it will not reason and think for you so much. It will help you to streamline your thinking and your reasoning. Number three, it has helped you to formulate the questionnaires. Now you've gone to the field. How are you going to dispense your questionnaires? Are you still in the old system whereby you are giving somebody a piece of paper to fill? Time is gone for that methodology. You will find very few people will answer your questionnaire. But if you give them, you convert them using the tool, and then use the AI tools like Monkey Surveys, or the Google Forms, which are AI based and they can easily be accessed everywhere, and also the security is high. It can help you reach as many people or the sample group as possible compared to physical traveling. So they are there to help and reduce the traveling aspect, the reaching to every person physically every day. But you can put it into a group of congregants and all of them will answer you so easily than going one by one, asking every person, can you fill it for me? Can you do what? The one who will feel like this study is very important for you will answer it, will answer that. Number three, some people, when answering your questions, just by your look, they already develop the biasness and the attitude against you. They'll say, your father is even very slow. Look at the way he's asking me the questions. But if you tell them, this is the tool, please help me answer these questions, somebody will just take a short period of time with his phone, easily log in, access the questionnaire, fill them very fast without even looking at your face in order to judge you and give you some biasness. Then they can easily fill them, answer them very fast, and then you get the responses easily and instantly. For example, you are to apply for this course. How did I get your email so easily and contact so easily so that you can be in this forum? How did I gauge the category of the people and the content that I have to deliver? Is from the questionnaire. The questionnaire. That's why Father is saying, fill this form. There was a purpose so that I deliver the training that is suiting your interest. Yes. So with the tools, they can simplify for you the work that you would have struggled and spent a lot of money on the road. Like if I want people, like congregants from Western region, to fill for me this questionnaire, what do I have to do? I only need to find their heads and then ask them to ask their congregants to fill this questionnaire. And because it's a trickle down rule, it is your boss who has asked you to fill. Will they deny or will they refuse to fill it? They'll fill it so easily. Compared to you traveling up to Western, giving them questionnaires. Number one, printing cost of the questionnaires. Number three, designing of the questionnaires. All this is cost. But with the tools, they have summarized that and reduced that. Yourself traveling, burnout here and there. You are supposed to be back to Nairobi within this day. You are supposed to be back there. And then when you go there, you only manage to ask 3 people or 2. Then you are back here. When will you complete the sample size of 1,000 respondents? You might take the entire 1 year doing just a survey. Your study is 2 years or 3 years. Then you start analyzing. First of all, even before you analyze it, you start first of all converting again that analog collected data into a digital format, which will take you another good number of a month plus. Then now start now analyzing the data. Now analyzing the data, will you start writing graphs? Now you are drawing graphs. You are designing the table, then coming up with the table with the table or the range. Then you start now drawing the graphs and charts manually on your book because you studied graphs, bar graphs and charts. No. These tools, even when you're collecting data, within the data set itself, it has summarized for you and analyzed for you. For instance, you filled the questionnaire. If I show you here, you analyze the questionnaire, you filled the questionnaire. Now we see if it has done the analysis. Now I can easily open it. Now this is the form, the questionnaire that you filled it. I want this data because these are the questionnaires you answered. These are the questions, and they are there. So instead of me printing 10 pages, I've converted it into a digital space and you have answered them. So I want to export this. I don't have to use a scanner to start converting that document that somebody filled it manually. Now to start keying into SPSS manually. I just need to do here. I just go to Excel and then export my data into what I want. I just come here, download it into Excel. Then I start analyzing my Excel file here. It's here. I'll analyze that data the way I want. So if I want to open it, I just open it like that. So I have my Excel already. So it's going to open just now. But even before that, I can check the analysis here. You see here, this is the analysis. First years are how many? So I see here from here, the demographic standard of the people that I'm training, majority are postgraduate. Therefore, what is the content that suits them? Okay, 7.7% are first year. 11.5% are which one? 40 years, which means that they are also moving to the research area. Then I look at here. You see, I get instant analysis. So I can easily even just copy the chart and put it into my document and explain my findings and the analysis in the data section. You see, the data is there. I can just take this, come to my Word document, that what were the findings on this questionnaire. Then I come here. I just do what? I just paste it here. So this is my chart. It has explained to me on this. So what do I do? I can just do what? I can crop. Now that I want to remove the question part, crop this, remove that, retain the questionnaire. How many responses? Then I'll do that. Then down here, I'll now explain that how many responses. That out of 26 responses, that for this questionnaire, these responses came. Then I'll say 15% of the respondents or 57% of the respondents wanted to study about cybersecurity. Artificial intelligence and machine learning, 88.5% were interested to learn. Only 23.1% had their own other issues to understand. But data science and analytics, again, they were 84.6%. So based on this, then you made the conclusion. You see that? So when you look at that, you have the analysis already done for you. So I can easily export this to whatever area that I want. These are the charts here. And they show me the perception and everything. You see? So all that. So they also do for you real-time analysis compared to the traditional old methods further. So you need to adapt to the new trend. I hope I've answered.
Yeah, you have answered. Yeah, it's interesting because now, as you say, things are changing, which means you write a very, very academic paper, but you have done very little into it.
Yes.
The tools have helped you to do everything. The idea of the graphs, I don't know, I've not learned about them, but the paper shows that it showed them there, but I don't know about them, which means some of the things I write in my paper, I have no idea. It's the machines that gave me.
No, you
I
must
mean, it's
be
possible to write a paper.
Yeah.
Academic
You must be the one who is
without having really.
Okay, proceed.
Okay.
Proceed.
Which means just feed the right information to the AI. It gives you what you want. You don't have to suffer much. You don't have to think much. Like the old method, you are ready to think and go and you really own the material, but now you know what you want to do to get, then the AI tools give them to you. Which means what is important is to understand how these AI tools work and which ones you want to give you what information. That's what I see. What is important?
No,
Know
the
them.
importance
And which
here,
one do I use?
Father, the importance here is you to know first what do you want to do.
Mhm.
Then number two, what is your goal? Number three, how do you want it to be done? Number four, what references have you found already that you feel like they are going to be used in your study? All that is you to do. Then once you have collected everything, you can now ask it to help you summarize it so that you don't do all the summaries also all the time, because you'll even run short of time. It is there to reduce that burnout that you had and simplify. But you have to do a lot of work by yourself too. Because if you say that you want to summarize this or to come up with this analysis, the question is, did you collect that data? You have not collected. So it cannot do for you. That is hallucinated research. But you see, we are using the tool to help you. Like, for example, we were to find any related materials that talks about implication of fuel price rise and economic growth. Tell me further, how long would you have taken to go to the library to look for books that talk about the impact of changes in fuel prices? How long? And how many books would you have found in your library?
True.
But
They will not be
with
there.
the tool here, it has given you access to all these books. Others are in South Africa, others are in Rwanda, others are in South Sudan, others are in Poland. And then you now take them all, put them together, then now summarize it. You see that? Because that is also the same way you would have done going to the library looking for this book, read it, then wrote some short notes, go. Get another one, write some short notes, go. Get another one, write some short notes, go. Now, further, the easiest thing that I can now tell you here, and the truth is this: the research that was done in the old days, you will find that people did a lot, very few references compared to date. Why? Because you might have read only 5 books, and those are the only ones that you cited in your work. But today, you can have a lot of books that have talked about the same within a short period of time and read them through, all of them, and include them in your research. So you might find that today's research is more detailed if you know what you are doing compared to the old research.
But let me give you a final question. When it comes to grammar now,
Yes.
because the old way was that you have to read and understand the English and the words themselves, what they mean, and correct the grammar. And that way you learn the language. You own what you have written. But now it is the tools that do the grammar for you. Don't you think that it is risky that the paper is very well written? So when I ask you now, what do you mean by this word, or what is this expression meaning? Then you will be at a loss because it is the tools that did the grammar for me.
Now the question remains to be, like, for example, before I made the Grammarly or checking of this document, did I read
Yes.
it? I first of all read it and went
Yes.
through it. Okay?
Yes.
Then, when I check for grammar, it has to point for me a section. All right? Within that section, I'll not ask it to correct for me, but sometimes I can ask it to reframe for me in this manner. Then I can tell it, can you use passive statement or third person statement use approach? Then it will do it for me. Still, I'll not say that this is final. I'll still have to read it myself, that sentence,
Okay.
and see if it fits the standard. If it is still not very clear, I'll still correct it manually. That's what we are saying. Do not use the chatbot to do for you the entire work.
Okay.
You use it to make it easy in writing and brainstorming. Then do the corrections on yourself.
Okay.
Yes.
Which is the English accepted here now for researchers? Is it American English or the British one?
That depends with what country colonized you. For Kenya, we use the UK English, British English. Okay? For Kenya, we were colonized by the British. Therefore, which language is good? UK.
And do these AI tools know that? AI tools know? Because like even in the computer, you find those made in the US, they are biased to the American English.
Mostly they write it in the UK English.
Okay.
Yes.
Fine. Thank you, Prof.
Yes. Thank you
Seems
so
I'm the
much,
one
you too.
dominating.
I hope I've tried to reduce the anxiety that was there so much, and the spirit of rejection to the tool that was there so much. You've now started to understand how they are there and how they work. They are not there to do for you everything. It is you to do much of the work. It is there to summarize for you or help you speed it up.
But what happens if you find your students know these tools more than you? So now who is helping? Who is finding?
Now that's why now we
Yeah,
are saying
true. Mm.
They know them more than us. So
that's why now we are saying that's why we are creating awareness further to tell you also
Yeah.
be aware.
Mm.
That's why we are now creating awareness to you because they know more than you do. So it is you to have now to start also understanding them so that now you become now a guru. But you see, they know how to use it, but they don't know what is the trick inside them.
Yes.
You get that difference? It's just like being a computer user and a computer wizard expert. A computer expert knows how the system works, including the internal systems. But the user only knows how to type, how to search, and how just to do some work with it. But when it breaks down, they cannot fix. An expert will fix. So I'm training you to be an expert so that you are better than them. You see, for them, they'll use it to generate the content and then send it to you. But now for you, you know how to check the plagiarism, how to check the
Mm-hmm.
grammar, how to check what. So you will now be able now to identify all that and correct them and tell them this is not your work. Can you go and do your work?
Yeah. Mm.
but tell me this.
Most
I
of
was
them,
going to
most of
class.
them will even send you the way it is. You know, they just copy that
Mm.
and put it there. They don't know
Mm,
what is to be done.
Mm.
Yeah, so you can easily find them.
mm.
Yeah.
And tell me this, Prof. I've been going to class with a laptop using slides.
Mm.
Then towards the middle of the semester, I discovered they have the text already. What they used to extract it from my laptop, what tool did they use?
Father,
They
this
have
we call this we call this we call the internet as the digital village. You know the reason why we call the internet as the global village is that The content that somebody is consuming in Harvard, you can consume it in your desktop or in your phone. So, what do I need as a student? I only need to know about the course outline. Then, from the course outline, I can come and ask my Google or my research related AI tools, and they can tell me how this book or which reference books can help me to understand about that topic. So the issue is, what is the reference of your content? Are you still using the old books to do your research and references in your teaching? If you are doing that, then you are in a limbo. I tell you the truth today. Because that student is there with the smart AI tools. So you are talking about AI breakthrough. And maybe now you are talking about the philosophies on the evolution of Christianity in the global state. You see, I just need to ask myself that now, given that the references are from the Rome and whatever and all the theological books, I just ask it that, can you list for me the theological books? Because it has the power to access all the internet space and find all the books related to that. It can be able to guide me and tell me what is to be handled. So further, the best thing you can do is always to research more, use the tools, the same tools to research more, and then now add some additional concepts that are now inbuilt from your experience. That will create the distinction between what they know and what you know. Number two, fine-tune the notes so that now they bring some aspect of practical skills, the reality implementation on the ground. That one they will not have it, because they'll have it in a text, but they don't have the reality implication or the usability on the ground and its real application in life. And that is what they lack. But if it's about text, they have it already.
Okay.
Yes. So I think, Father, we wish to end here. I would have ended this call long time ago, but because of you, I have to take it slow.
Thank you so much.
You're much welcome. I hope there's no any other question. Sister Anne, you can pray for us as we end this session.
I'll pray, Father, you bless us. In the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit.
The Son of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Father, Lord, we want to thank you for this particular moment. We thank you for the gift of this day. We thank you for the protection, the mercy you have upon each and every one of us. We thank you also for the gift of wisdom. We thank you for the gift of life you have given to Professor. Barasa, we continue to pray for him that you may continue to bless him and grant him his heart's desires. As he continue to impart this knowledge to us, bless us too that we may be able to understand what is taking this time to teach us. And protect us all during the night, and you will know what is happening in our country. Continue to intervene in this situation that all may be well soon. And as we retire to bed, Lord, protect us, and may your holy angels guard each and every one of us, that we may rise in the morning to praise and glorify your name. Glory be to the Father, and to the Son, and to the Holy Spirit.
As it was
and without opinion.
the Lord be with you.
And
And you bless you.
Almighty God bless you.
See you tomorrow.
Good night.
Nice sleep.